ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here today, and it's a pleasure on behalf of Colonial First State to be the principal sponsor of the IMAP 2018 Advisor Roadshow. In putting this session together, we were cognizant that there's a lot of discussion and documentation in the industry around the benefits of managed accounts, and that discussion and documentation really is quite qualitative in nature. Things like scalable growth, stronger client relationships, reduced risk. So in preparing for this session, we wanted to really try and get some quantitative measures around practices using managed accounts and seeing whether they make any material differences in their use of managed accounts to their business metrics. And as Wes alluded to, CFS and IMAP have partnered with Terry Bell from Business Health for that assessment and for that research. I'll introduce Terry more formally shortly. However, just a little bit about CFS and where we are on our managed account journey. Colonial First State actually developed its first licensee managed portfolio, or private label, whatever you'd like to call it, back in 2008. We now have around 7 or 8 of those private labels, totaling around $7 billion in assets under management. However, 2 to 3 years ago, we saw the need to seriously upgrade our managed account technology, really so we could cater for the scale that we thought was going to be coming into managed accounts, and also so we could deliver a broader range of managed account solutions to the market. Pleasingly, the results of that labour are coming to market now. In November, we launched First Choice managed accounts on First Choice. And indeed, just yesterday, we launched our retail SMAs on the first wrap, which was very exciting indeed. And then our finally, our tailored licensee solutions or private label solutions are well underway with the new technology, with 2 new boutiques coming on in Q3 of this year. So a range of comprehensive solutions across our platforms, which we think are bringing managed accounts to more licensees and advisors in the industry. Enough on CFS, and let's get to the meat of this presentation. As I said, Terry is a partner at Business Health. Business Health is a business diagnostic group with a very long history and, importantly, a very large database on quantitative financial metrics on traditional advice businesses. IMAP and CFS thought it was they were the ideal research firm to get a pinpoint and a feel for that quantitative research on the metrics of practices using managed accounts versus their traditional database, if you like, of those practices that aren't utilising managed accounts. As Terry will show, the results early on are very promising. I don't want to steal any more of his thunder, so I'll hand over to Terry. Could you please join me in welcoming Terry?
Good morning. Great start, isn't it? Excellent. You've got to interact a little bit because I'll go off track. And I'll get digressed. And I thought about 8 months ago, I knew nothing about managed accounts or MDAs. Well, it's true. You know, I look at practices, I look at profit. Product to me is just the product delivery to the client. So client's very important, as is profitability. So when Toby mentioned, could you do this? I thought, sure, how hard can it be? Well, I've been through these road shows. I feel like I've entered the twilight zone. The acronyms, the jargon, it is so technical. So, congratulations if you understand what's going on, because I don't. So, but it doesn't matter, I don't have to, I suppose. I think I've got 2 messages. One is your client does. Client and communication is really important. And I think that's, when I hear all these sessions, and they're fantastic. I was so grateful to Jeff with his Homer slide. I did feel at home about that one. That's the one slide I got hold of. But apart from that, clients and communication is very big, and I'll share with you later on some results about communication and how clients are seeing what we're doing. But anyway, let's get into this. Certainly any questions, challenges along the way, ask, because I get very boring otherwise. What drives, as I said, all of our stuff is about the profit of a practice. That's what it's about. So it's pretty clear cut to us. And all the stats we'll share with you are those derived from the usage of our various diagnostics, proprietary diagnostics, kindly modified courtesy of CFS for this initiative in terms of our health check tool. That's about us. We've been doing it for 18 years. We spent a lot of time in America, half our business is America. Very similar market in our view to Australia. The language is different, the spelling is different, the numbers are different, but take away all of that top level, very similar. It's a baby boomer advisor, it's regulatory being focused, and there's a succession issue. There's a lot of competition. Very similar market. So we work in America, we work in other places, and sadly, for the sake of our children, we're independent, which means we have no one behind us except us. So every day we go and kill someone and get the revenue and survive another 18 years. That's what we do. We've offended most people, and I guess we'll continue to do so, but doesn't matter. You've got to say what you think. That's the tool, and this is a good deal. This is one of our, we have a number of proprietary diagnostics. This one's called the Health Check. It's web-based. You sign onto our website, answer questions, takes about 20 or 30 minutes, and you get a very big report back. The key about this is that it's confidential, it's anonymous, it'll benchmark you across 20 areas of your business, from client through to people, through to IT, through to business planning, succession. Let's not talk about succession, of course we're all failing miserably. But it'll give you a great platform to do a business plan for your business. And it's courtesy of CFS, Laird and Ben. They've modified this tool for the purposes of the next couple of months. So the opportunity is up to you to do this. You'll get a great report that is confidential, but you'll get an assessment done by us. And you'll get, when this is over, a white paper on how we see this part of the marketplace. So it's pretty insightful data. What you do with it then is up to you. So the opportunity is there. If you're keen to do it, just fill out one of these forms and give it to us today, give it to Toby, or send it to us, or ring us up, doesn't matter. We're only down the road at Piedmont. So that's the tool, pretty good tool. Private, confidential. I can't see what's going on here. Is anything moving? No? Anything moving at all? Is there anyone out there that diagnoses the business, benchmarks and peers, and provides commentary? So I thought we'd talk today about a little bit about the marketplace. Not much, because I figure, again, I'm preaching to the converted here. You guys have bought into the managed account world. You know what you're doing, so I can't tell you how good it is, but I will share with you a bit about the marketplace. I'll share with you the data that we've collected, and I'll give you probably the most valuable part of this session will be the key takeouts that I can give you in half an hour, given my base level of knowledge, which is zero, which is, I'm in an ideal place to assess how practices are using managed accounts, I think. So that'll be the key takeout, and the opportunity I've already mentioned to do the health check. Working a treat, isn't this? There you go, the marketplace. How's your marketplace? What's it like? Don't say it's good. Don't say everything. We've got so many clients lined up out the front. What's a couple of things that worry you at night about work? Football's other things worry, but what's a driver that worries you? Is anything happening in your world that you're worried about? Regulation, always number one. And of course we can do a lot about that, but that's a very important one. Number two? Is that okay? Well, it's just a political free zone here as well, but thank you anyway. The point I think I'll make is that there's a lot of stuff happening in your world. It's all that stuff, and you can't read much of it, I don't think, but it's a lot of stuff. And there's only one way to get through all that stuff, is through a proper structured approach. And Nick in the session, the panel session, talked about a whole of business solution, which I think is a great term. Don't know what it means exactly, but it seems, I think I'll use that somewhere. I think managed accounts are part of a whole of business solution. So part of the solution is managed accounts, part of the solution is addressing the things you can't see there, which is regulation, which is demography, which is baby boomers, which is a press that hates you, which is succession issues, all those, it's new competition, all those things are coming in your world. So I think managed account fits into this broad spectrum of your life today. Lots of stuff. The bottom line to it all is, forget all that stuff. In my world, it's increasing costs, margin compression, focus on profit. And that's clearly one of the messages that's come out in the sessions this morning, and it's going to come out through the rest of the day. Profit, managed accounts contributing there too for you. So, part of our health check, we asked principals, your peers out in Jamison Street, how they saw the next 12 months. And it's an optimistic outlook. All these things are going to happen. What have I done, Toby? It's working perfectly here. I can see everything. Okay. Thank you. Hope you can. There's a very optimistic outlook happening here. But me being who I am, there's one problem with all of that. And they're just dreams. They're nice intentions, but without a plan behind them, without a plan, I don't know how we're going to achieve any of those. An effective business plan is the major driver of profit. We collect a lot of data, and I'm a very simple person. But without a plan, business plan 101, I don't know how businesses like yours are going to navigate those challenges, are going to integrate a managed account solution, address what the regulator does next week or Bill does in a year's time or whatever, without a structured plan. Logical, that's what you do every day for your clients. So how do we travel as an industry? For a plan to be effective, it's only got to do a couple of things. You've got to document it. If you don't have it written down, someone like me can't hold you accountable, and you've got to have someone to hold you accountable. That's where I thought the prior session with Jonathan and mentioned Ray's effort of managing a process. External input to doing a plan is very important. It's got to be comprehensive. It's got to cover everything, not just this part. It can't just do managed accounts. It's got to do other stuff. It's got to have 4 things in it. Who's going to do what, by when and how? Simple as that. And I like progress to plans. So, business plan, marketplace, cluttered, enter managed accounts. So, here's how we're travelling as an industry. 2 figures here. One is percentage, the middle figure is percentage of practices in our marketplace, our broad database. The last, and that's all I'm going to do there, sorry. Can't read this properly. 24% of your client, of our businesses, your peers, don't have a business plan. 1 in 4 do not have a plan at all. That's quite a problem, I would think, given what's happening in the world. Those that have a business plan and do it effectively are making significantly more money. Now, this is not up for discussion, because we calculate the profit. We collect revenue figures, we collect expense figures, but we calculate the profit. So we're trying to compare like with like. So all I know is an effective business plan done properly, implemented properly, will generate more profit for a business. So I overlay that with managed accounts, and I overlay it with the marketplace at large, and I'd urge you, if there's 2 takeouts, this is one of them. Commit to doing a business plan and commit to progress, tracking your progress regularly, at least once a quarter. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of time going around this room. So I urge you to do, and the bottom line is, those that do it are making more money. So it's almost a no-brainer. And that health check will help you do that. So enter into this world, the world of managed accounts. The data we have so far, this initiative was run over January, February and March. So it's not a great time to do it, but we had to do it then to tie into Toby's time frame for this roadshow series. Our current database, health checks done by people like your business over the last 18 months. There's 300 practices in there, a mix of practices. but there's 300 real live practices there. We've overlaid that with, and the opportunity is still there for you to do it, of course, up until the 13th of April. All you got to do is fill that form out, 13th of April, send it to us. Just do the damn thing. You'll get it and you'll get a white paper at the end of the day. We've had so far 93 respondents come into do this health check so far. What they look like? They've been all doing it less than 3 years, more than 3 years, right hand side. So it's a mix. People have been doing it for less than 1 year and more than 3 years. The percentage of clients they're offering their business to, on the far left hand side, 50% of practices are offering it to less than 25% of their clients at the moment. The other side is a lot are offering it to the majority of their clients. These are just the data. Clients being offered accounts, new clients 10%, above $200,000 50%, and the other two figures less than $200,000. You can see the figures there for yourself. Not right or wrong, that's just the fact. Those three sets of figures seem to say to us that it's, and I guess it's confirmed by Toby's announcement of your results for the last, the assets under management for the last 6 months. Again, it's growing. It seems to be spreading and growing this product. Again, I know I'm preaching to the converted, so I'm going to stop doing that. So the benefits of managed accounts, again, this is what you know, but I didn't know you knew this when we did the health check. So I'm going to tell you again, just for the sake of the argument. Because it's on the slide up here, I've got to do it. Reduction in admin, 87%. I guess that gets down to things like the ROA issue. You don't need to do it, you can save time, very effective. So 87% of your peers rate admin reduction a major benefit of using managed accounts. More time spent with clients, very important. Given our work, given the complexity of the market, given the competition, 47%, so they can spend more time with clients. And that is fantastic, and I'll show you why a bit later on, but it's a great outcome. Great outcome in our view. Bear in mind I'm naive at this stuff. Improved client engagement. I mentioned it now. One of our other tools is a client survey tool. And we ask clients confidentially on behalf of a practice. We survey the clientele of a practice, what they think of their advisor in a number of areas, including 9 KPIs. The bottom KPI forever, and we do this in America, done in South Africa, even did in the UK for a while, did in Singapore and Australia. The worst performing KPI remains to this day, after 15 years of doing this survey. What do you think it might be? Anything will do. I'll take anything. What do you think clients would rate, not you, the other advisors, not you, them out there, of 9 areas, what area might they hit on? Yeah, it is absolutely staggering. Every country, communication, and then I think about it, and I was mentioning this to Aaron during a break, then I hear the language. I've got no doubt about your competence. There's no doubt about that. And I hear the acronyms. Oh, geez, like a small alphabet soup. But I wonder how you communicate that to clients. Because when I look at what clients say, we've got 45,000 clients have done our survey. It's not like it's been going a couple of weeks. It's a big survey, continually going on. Communication is way down the bottom. So I think the other thing I've got as a takeout would be a business plan, please, to navigate through the marketplace and look at your communication program. You're doing it, but is it resonating with your clients? There's only one way to find out, by the way. Ask them. And guess what? See, I'm off on a tangent already. I know I've got hours. 34% of your, not in this room, out in Circular Quay, 1 in 3 of your peers take the time to seek feedback from their clients. Think about that. Which means 2/3 of the great unwashed out there have not sought feedback. I don't mean like see them in the street, how you going, social Christmas party. No. A proper structured survey. Have not sought feedback. So I'm thinking, communication's down. we're in a complicated, complex area and we don't know how we're going. Well, that might be a challenge. That might be something that might fit into that business plan as well. Just a thought. Just a thought. Improved risk control and improved investment outcomes, no doubt about that. So they're the benefits that your peers have said about managed accounts, and you knew all that before, but I had to say it because it was on the slide. And I've got to stick to track because otherwise I get very confused. So some numbers for you. And these are not right or wrong, but we've taken the numbers of a broader database and compared them to those businesses that have done a health check that are using managed accounts today. I'll just read them out. Managed funds under management, appointments per week, total number of clients, farm, revenue, clients per advisor. Any comments on any of that at all? Well, they're quite interesting if you sort of like numbers. You guys must like numbers. Any comment? There seems to be a higher quality of business, I've got to say. It looks, it's not right or not wrong here, but we're looking at a higher revenue, a higher FUM with less clients. More face time in front of clients, which goes to that previous slide. So they're interesting stats. The bottom line is, the most important stat there is this one. Not that one, that one. Profitability. Well, someone asked us in Brisbane about the number of staff, so I found that data and put it in. I didn't have it before. Notional profitability. These businesses appear to be more profitable, which is good news for you. I guess, I hope, it's good news for you. So we're looking at higher revenue, higher FUM, more staff, less clients, higher profitability. They're the dimensions, not right, not wrong. That is just what the data says. But I think it's a pretty encouraging set of numbers. So the key takeouts, this is us, bear in mind who we are, naive, we don't know much, very simple people. You know that, Paul, don't you? I'm a very simple person. Thank you. Didn't need to agree so readily, by the way. I was going to say, I do digress, but what time we got? We've got 10 minutes. The language is really a challenge. When I went to school, Latin wasn't a dead language, right? Think about that. And I did Latin, and I did law, and I did all this stuff. But the language is a real challenge. Anyway, key takeouts for you. The benefits will accelerate as the solutions of managed accounts embed into your business. The reason I say that is two sets of figures. That one, which says length of time offering, those who've been doing it more than 3 years are significantly higher profitable than those who've been doing it less than 3 years. So if you've begun the journey, continue that journey because there's a payback down that line for you. No doubt about that. So it makes sense. It is a whole business solution, as Nick Mitchell said before the break. So the longer you keep doing it, the more, I would think, you'll get better at it, blah, 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 more profit. And the second profit driver here is clients invested in it. Those who are offering it to more than half their clients, practices I'm talking about now, are more profitable. So again, they're pretty compelling to me. I've summarised that simply as saying the longer you do it, the more it's embedded, the more the profitability to your business. So I think that's a pretty good solution, pretty good takeout. Higher profit, I've already covered these figures, I won't do them again, except to say that we're looking at higher FUM, higher revenue, higher FUM, profit per principal. That's a big number. And these are not made up numbers. Take it for what it's worth, but we calculate $100,000 difference in principals running with managed accounts versus those that don't. Real definable numbers coming off the financials inputted by practices. So they're not made up, they're not fictionalised, they are actual numbers. So I think it's a pretty compelling argument. What do I know? You're the advisor, I'm just trying to work out what the numbers mean. So I think inherently these businesses are profitable. And that's a really good story, I think, given the marketplace and the whole macro thing going on. So key takeout number 2. I said I had 2 things. One was business plan, the other one is communication. I know I've bashed you around the head. We're going to do it one more time, just one more time. Communication is the key to any relationship. There's no doubt about that with clients. We do client surveys, that CAT scan I mentioned, It is confidential, it is anonymous, and we collect data, and we collect ratings, and we collect comments. Clients write a lot of comments, and we collect them verbatim. Whatever they say, whoever they name, whoever they abuse, we collect it and feed it back to the practice. It's all confidential and anonymous. We very rarely get negative comments about their own advisor. Clients love you. They hate every other advisor in the whole of the country, but but they love you. That's a fact. See, again, call me simple, call me an old Roman, doesn't matter. They had an empire at one stage. Communication works, the language works, and the key to any relationship is effective communication. 31%. Those businesses that contact their A-class clients, this is a broad database, 10 times a year or more, of which only 1/3 do, by the way, of your peers, they are making 31% more profit than those that don't. So communication done meaningfully, frequently, customised, produces higher level of profit for the practice. Because the clients actually think you're doing something for them. They've heard from you again. And when I look at managed accounts, what an opportunity. There's something happening in that world every day. You've got golden opportunity to communicate. Put in English. Get rid of the jargon, get rid of the acronyms, get rid of the twilight zone. But you've got ample opportunity and you will be rewarded because the profit is there. Number of A-class contacts, managed accounts contacting their clients more frequently than those that don't have managed accounts. Quarterly reviews, the keynote to any, in my view, the moment of truth for every advisor. More frequent reviews, those employing managed accounts versus those that don't. The last two are appointments per week and retention of A-class clients. That's a pretty good set of numbers. And I put that all down to just one thing, effective communication, and the fact that managed accounts gives you the opportunity to do that. It's a fairly compelling argument in my mind. But it's your business, you're the owners, you know, but all I can tell you is 31% more frequent contact, managed accounts, practices are contacting their clients more frequently. So I would think it's a pretty, as I said, compelling argument. And even prove it. Do we have time? Yes, we do. The 9 areas down the bottom are the 9 areas we rate in our CAT scan. There's only 2, don't worry about the areas. We ask clients to rate. The top line are those clients, we also ask clients to describe, do you have a close relationship with your advisor? Those businesses that say, yes, I do, that's their ratings, the top line. Those clients who say, no, I don't have a close relationship with my advisor, that's the bottom line. And we put down relationship purely to communication. So clients who believe who like the communication, believe there's a strong relationship, will rate you high in every area. They even think you're smarter, because one of those areas we rate is technical knowledge. So, again, keep bashing you up, but communication works, frequent, meaningful. If you've got doubt, ask your clients. And please, this is not a plug for us, but whatever you do, you've got to get results that you can benchmark from clients. So if you're getting feedback but you can't benchmark it, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you why. Older clients rate their advisor very highly. They're more generous in their rating than younger clients. Small business owners are very harsh in their ratings for clients, for advisors. So if you've got a young client base that is predominantly small business owners, you're going to have a lot of bad feedback coming your way, unless you're really good, because they're going to rate you. So you've got to be able to benchmark your results. I mentioned the number of clients the practice has got. The average practice has got 6-7 staff. It's got 600 clients. Segmentation is alive and well. I struggle to know how businesses who can't offer differentiated services will survive going forward. Every client's got to be treated with respect and fairly, but not equally. When you fly around, if you want to go first class, you've got to turn left, you've got to pay the freight. A-class clients, Prudhoe and all of our work is alive and well. 80% of revenue is coming from 20% of clients. There's no doubt about that. So segmentation is a big issue. And those businesses that are segmenting, according to our database, are significantly more profitable than those that aren't. So segmentation works. It just works. Because I guess it's freeing up the time and the focus of the practice to work on those A-class clients who are giving most of the revenue to the practice, bringing most of the fees to the practice. So segmentation works. Overlay that one finding against our marketplace, number of clients, I've already commented on that. 90% of managed account businesses are segmenting their client base, according to our data, versus the broader market of 74% or something. So it appears to us that practices are segmenting more if they're using managed accounts. Maybe it's the introduction of managed accounts has caused that segmentation to occur, but it has. That's the bottom line to it. Big driver of profits, segmentation. And the final one, it's an even more valued service. Here, 87% of the marketplace charge for SOAs, charge a fee for preparation of SOA. Managed account businesses that prepare an SOA, 97% of those are charging for a fee. So there seems to be more confidence, more of your peers in this room are charging fees than the broader marketplace. An explicit fee, I should say. They're charging more for implementation, more for service level agreements, and they've got, seeing 20 or more clients, the impact of all the stuff I've mentioned, face-to-face, more time, freeing up, they're actually acquiring more clients than those that have not gone down this path as yet. So, I don't know, but I think to me they're pretty compelling 5 key takeouts at a high level. I guess you've got to overlay those into your own business. So to summarise, to answer Toby's question, why are businesses more profitable? In our view, they're more efficient. With experience comes confidence to do it. Reduction in admin costs, improved risk control, and managed accounts are integral to the business. There's no doubt about that. As Nick mentioned, in-house solutions, managed accounts have been presented as integral. It's not black or white. It is the business. They offer more confidence. I've commented on this. They seem to be charging more for fees, more confident in their offer, more willing to apply a fee across their broader client base. Improved outcomes, well, that's already been proved. Investment outcomes and existing clientele are happy. Range of services expanded. Final one, more time for clients. This is the other important issue. Communication, more time for face-to-face meetings, more contacts, 10 or more times a year. Reviews, they're doing more of them face-to-face with clients, reminding clients what they're doing for the fees the client's paying regularly, and they segment. So to me, that's my high-level take for what it's worth. Happy to take any questions. We've got a minute or two, I don't know. That's just a very high level. Clearly from 6 months ago to now, I know how to spell managed accounts, which is a big plus, I think, for my own self-development. It appears to me that it's a major profit driver strategy. That offer is still available. It's a good offer. I urge you to consider it. Results are confidential. You will get an assessment of your business. And you will get a white paper at the end of it all, which will summarise the marketplace. So I hope you find the value. It is a great initiative by CFS, I think. Laird's going to get me off now, are you? Okay, I'm going. Okay, thank you. Okay, but thank you very much anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.